Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rider Review, brought to you once again by 13K Productions. I know this is a little bit of a later one, but this weekend has been insane. My birthday was Saturday. Of course, the Riders got the win. Sunday, we had my grandma's party. And then Monday, woke up, felt like I got hit by a truck. And I guess today's Tuesday, and I'm just recording it now. So, yeah, where do we even start? What a game! A 34-6 victory over the Montreal Allouettes. Apparently, Montreal's offense, after talking with my dad after the game, their offense did not get past our 46-yard line, which is insane play by our defense. And I guess after the game, apparently the players weren't even satisfied with the way they played. Like, that's just, there's not many things that you're happy to hear from players when they're talking negative about themselves. But that is something that is just amazing to hear. After a 34-6 beatdown with the Montreal Allouettes. Simply put, that's what it was. The only reason Montreal was able to get 6 points was because Maltos Diaz has a leg of freaking Iron Man. That guy, like his leg is insane. So, the Montreal Alouettes scored 6 points off 2 field goals. And I mean, let's give credit where it's due. Jose Maltos Diaz. Wow, what a leg on that guy! Like that's insane. And those field goals, I think they were 3rd and 4th in Montreal's history of field goals, if I'm not mistaken. You don't quote me on that. I don't have my laptop up with me. But that's quite an insane fact if you think about it. And I guess let's transition over to our special teams. Dre McCray, he didn't look as good as he has in the past. He muffed a couple balls, and he looked as good as you'd expect him to really look. He's still a young returner. We got to remember that. He's learning from Mario Alford still. This guy, he's young, and he's got lots of years of improvement ahead of him. And the fact that he's learning from Mario Alford, like I've said in the past podcasts, that's a pretty good sign. This guy could be really good. He could be the number 1 returner in the CFL if we give it time. And you can see the speed on the guy. Like, he has a good burst of speed in his legs. If you give him the ball and of course, he's got to take a look and see where there's space. And that's with every returner. Every returner does that, and every returner is always going to make a mistake about that from time to time. But you give him space, and I think he's fast. Like, it looks like he's faster than Mario. So, just give it time, and it'll come. And I guess while we're talking about the special teams here, gotta touch on our punter. Joe Couch had a solid game. I think there's only one memorable punt where he punted it in the end zone and gave us a point. Solid. And of course, we're gonna touch on Brett Lowther. I was gonna call into the green zone and complain about that missed field goal. Because after that happened, he was 75% or 3 of 4. But when they sent him back out, got it back, I don't think there's anything I can really complain about in terms of his field goal percentage right now, or at least for that game. Nothing I can really complain about. So, what can you do, right? You gotta roll with the punches, and he was able to go out there and get it back from over 45 yards, I think it was. So, you know what? Lowther should be proud of himself, and he did a great job. I guess let's move over to the defensive side of the ball here. That Montreal dressed 8 offensive linemen. Now, here's the issue. When it comes to offensive linemen, you can't constantly rotate offensive linemen, right? And I think they're down to their 3rd string receiver, Tice, I think it is. I could be wrong on that, but he's leading the team. He's the 3rd string receiver is their number one receiver right now, 5th in the league in receiving yards, I think it is. So, they're down to their 3rd string, and he's pulling things together. But our defensive line and our defensive backs were phenomenal. Like, we were rotating our defensive line like crazy. And that's just, we were defending passes. Our defense was everywhere. And, we were great in all phases of the defense. Secondary, linebackers, we had defensive linemen. Like, it's crazy. And like I said, it was straight up unfair because the depth we have at the defensive line position and the fact that we are able to rotate over and over and get fresh legs in there. And all of our guys, I genuinely think, this is just, you know what, call it bias, call it what you will, but I genuinely believe all of these Saskatchewan Roughriders defensive linemen are all-star caliber. That's what it is. There's nothing you can say about that. There's nothing negative you can say about that, especially after their performance in the last 2 games. And the fact that they still weren't happy about it shows that they are still going to work and improve. I mean, it's insane. And then, I guess let's flip over to the offensive side here. First off, I just want to note that Montreal is down to their 3rd string safety. I think it was their 3rd string. Was that their corner or safety? But Montreal suffered another injury because I think Ento was a game time decision, and then they had to play. Oh, I can't even remember who they played. But then they were down to Hamlin at the end of the game. And I mean, it's just, it's unfortunate, what can you do, right? Like, you suffer injuries, unfortunately, things are going to happen. But I guess let's go back to talking about the Riders. Trevor Harris is the best quarterback in the CFL. I called in the green zone, said it there, and I'm going to say it again. Trevor Harris is the best quarterback in the CFL. There is nothing you can do to convince me otherwise. Bo Levi Mitchell this, Bo Levi Mitchell that, Bo Levi Mitchell bullcrap. Trevor Harris is the most efficient quarterback in the CFL. And to me, that means he is the best. Because efficiency, QB efficiency rating, takes in a bunch of stats. And the fact that Trevor Harris has made honor roll, yeah, I get Bo Levi Mitchell might have. But our record and the fact that we went out and we beat Hamilton in week 2. Argue all you want. We have the one up over Hamilton. And you know what? I'm praying that, we can go out on the 16th and get that victory because I'm going to be in attendance as I am with every game. I'm hoping that we can go out and get that victory against Hamilton here at home because you know what? If the Riders go in and thwomp Hamilton like they did Montreal, who is supposedly another top team in the CFL, what are you going to say? Like, honestly. Like, Harris, like, I'm also going to touch on our injuries. Our offensive line is held together by duct tape. And our running backs are able to run all over you? Like, that's just insane. Like, I love the fact that the Riders are able to always find some sort of thunder and lightning type of deal with running backs. Like, our thunder is, of course, AJ. And then the lightning with Mario Anderson. Like, that's just insane. And then, this receiving core, alright? This is where this just... Sorry, George is talking in the background. But, George! No, thank you. George! 1 second, I gotta go stop him from barking. Alright. George. Sorry. My apologies. Anyways, back to where we were. Our receiving core. The fact that our 3 starters in MLS, Schaefer Baker, and Bain Jr. And unfortunately, let's be honest, Bain Jr. probably won't have a position in this offense anymore. It's unfortunate. I love the guy. I've chatted with him. He's a great person. But where does he fit in the offense? Anyways, the fact that these 3 guys, and all 3 of them, are considered top receivers in the CFL. They're all hurt and sitting on the bench. And you have these receivers out there. You have Robestel, you have Myers, you have Johnson, who are going out and playing like gods. It's utterly insane. Like this, the Saskatchewan Roughriders have the best wide receiver core in the CFL. Bar none. That's simply what it is. And you know what? That speaks numbers to Trevor Harris that he's able to do this with backups. So, I think that about does it. I have a new album dropping on Friday. Go check it out when it drops, please. It drops on Friday, so technically Thursday, 10 p.m. if you're in Saskatchewan. But otherwise, Friday, please go listen to the album. And if you're interested, I would really appreciate it if you listen, if you watch the video I release on Behind the Album. But yeah, please like, comment, share, subscribe, tell all your friends that the Rudder Review is here, and we are once again brought to you by 13K Productions. And yeah, we'll see you guys not next week, but the week after that, after the Riders hopefully beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats at home in Saskatchewan. Peace.